There is a high chance that the online experience for Street Fighter 6 have gotten a lot worse for you if you're playing Street Fighter 6 on PC. And today I'm gonna talk about what actually changed with how the game works, and hopefully we can raise a discussion so that Capcom would do something about it. Hey guys, MC Mura here, and if you don't know, my day job is a network engineer, and ever since the Alex update I noticed that the way Street Fighter 6 work online became really weird. I was starting to have connection issues with people that live 20 minutes away. People who used to have 15-20 millisecond connections to, now I'm having 100 millisecond connections, which obviously mean delay and rollback frames, and the match quality have gotten way worse. But what's weird is that against people who live further away, the connection is still totally fine. So what actually happened? So we got the Cisco Packet Tracer in the Street Fighter 6 video. Now we have seen everything. Before I start and explain what's actually going on, I want to highlight that this issue specifically affects the PC version, the Steam version of Street Fighter 6. If you're playing this game on console, you are not affected whatsoever, and console to PC connections are still totally fine. This is only for the Steam versions of Street Fighter 6. So what is going on? I use this diagram to help clarify the issue. Let's first show how Street Fighter 6 is supposed to function, and then we're gonna show you what is actually going on and what's going on wrong with the game. So this is my network, this is my PC, which is connected to my router, and I am logged into the Street Fighter 6 server, and the same for my friend, right? At this point, both of us are logged to the server and we're trying to set up a connection. What happens here is that through ranked search or through Battle Lounge, the server will try to hook me up with my friend. So what is supposed to happen is this. I am supposed to be connected to my friend directly, and this is what's typically called a peer-to-peer connection. The Street Fighter 6 server is a matchmaker. It's pretty much the middleman. It's trying to connect us to each other. Hey Mura, this is your friend. Hey friend, this is Mura. Go shake hands, and then we play with each other, and you'll see that the connections, the packets, is actually being transferred from my side to the friend side directly. This is the ideal case scenario. But unfortunately, what's happening with Street Fighter 6 right now on Steam is that this link is not being established. Instead of getting a peer-to-peer, we are getting a relay connection. And what's meant by relay is that this is not happening. Instead, this link is being cut and the data have to go all the way through. The server is gonna act as the middleman now. I am sending my data to the server, and then the server is sending it to my friend, and then the other way around. And we actually saw this with Street Fighter 5, but Street Fighter 5 was upfront about it, right? So with Street Fighter 5, in the loading screen, you may notice that this is the two dot connections right here, and this means that this was a peer-to-peer connection. Whereas with Street Fighter 5, if it was a relay connection, you will get this three-dotted symbol. Notice that the symbol is different. This is peer-to-peer, so you're getting the good connection, and this is a relay connection. And obviously, you can simply just make sense of it. Like, if there is a direct link here, the distance is much shorter. It's just basic geometry, right? Where instead of the packet having to go through two sides of the triangle, it is going directly. Now, the reason I'm saying that how sensitive you are to this issue may matter is because it really is gonna depend on the distances, right? If you and your friend are close together like that, right, then this distance is much shorter than the game going the whole way through. And if they are very close to it like that, then the sum of these two sides, the sum of these two lines aren't that much longer than the third one, than the direct connection. So you may feel only like slight increase in ping. And we're also going to be using this program called the Wireshark. And if you don't know, in networks, Wireshark is what's called sniffer trace. This is pretty much a program that is being used to pretty much sniff or inspect the internet packets. So it's gonna show you, like, if you're using an application, what packets are being sent, what IP are we looking at, and all of that, so that we can get a good idea on what's actually going on. Connection with a local that is on Guilty Gear Strive. As you can see, we're getting like 15 millisecond ping. This guy is also from Egypt, and this is Guilty Gear Strive, works regularly fine. Now, if we actually head over and we activated this program, this is Wireshark, so we could see like the IP addressing that is on play, right? Continue without saving, and let's stop. Right? So the IP we are constantly communicating with is 197.35.5 is the IP address of my friend, right? That is the application data, that is the data. So if we actually check out the IP address locator, IP address location, this is an Egyptian IP. 197, this is an Egyptian IP. The Kahliya, Egypt, yeah. So this is an Egyptian IP. So we used Wireshark, and from Wireshark we saw that Guilty Gear Strive works as a peer-to-peer connection, kind of unlike Street Fighter 6. And here is an example, right? We're trying to fight versus someone who is a local. This is someone that, as you can see from the outside, I have like a green connection to. Both of us Egyptian flags. He lives very close to me, but the match boots and it's 100 millisecond ping connection. That doesn't make any sense. So I check out the Wireshark because I want to see like what is actually going on, and you will see that the IP that I'm constantly seeing is 185.25.182.50, and this is the IP that is constantly I'm sending and transmitting data to, right? You check out that on the IP lookup finder, and that is a Steam server. I'm saying it to Evolve server. So what's happening here is that Steam is acting as a middleman. The issue with Street Fighter 6 is that instead of the game trying to default us to a peer-to-peer connection, instead Street Fighter 6 is forcing a relay connection. Now, this is something that you can actually kind of adjust in the Steam settings. You could do, what you need to do is to check out you actually check out like the settings for Steam, and on the in-game you will find that there is this something called Steam networking, right? And Steam networking by default, it should be on default, but if you set it to always means that Steam should never use a Steam datagram relay. It shouldn't ever put you in a relay connection. Yet despite me setting this to always, what is happening is that I am getting relay connection in Street Fighter 6. If me and my friend, both of us set this to always, we're gonna get a match error. The match is not even gonna begin. At first, I was thinking that maybe this is just a me issue, but then I saw this post on Twitter where it's referencing like a post on Reddit where people are saying like there is no more peer-to-peer connection in Street Fighter 6. But checking it out on Twitter, it seemed like this is happening. And again, here, tweet by BM, where it's like this is happening in Bangladesh. We have to play 80 to 90 MLS. I talked about it. I also saw like Hurricane talking about it, and Fubar Duck, who I think lives in Japan right now, they're saying that the Steam Relay server were introduced for PC to PC to stabilize things. Unfortunately, what's going on right now is when I'm playing versus a person in the UK, so the Steam server I'm using is in France. So the data goes from Egypt to France to UK, then backwards, and France to UK is way shorter than France to Egypt. So instead of it being Egypt to Egypt, we're getting Egypt, France, Egypt, or against the British player, it was like Egypt, France, UK. So depending on how close you are and your friend or the player you're playing with to the Steam server, the additional lag will vary. I don't know why Capcom did it this way. This used to happen, like I said, in Street Fighter 5, but It was really bad, and I think in countries like Fubardak is saying here, in countries without Steam infrastructure, this is gonna make you just much more laggy. I don't know why Capcom did it this way, but it is what it is, and that is unfortunate. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Let me know about your experience. Have you been noticing this? Is this something that you notice in your games? I'm sure like almost all PC connections are gonna have higher ping now because of this change, but how noticeable is it for you is gonna depend on your, like, again, your distances and the Steam infrastructure over there. If you like this video, please leave a like or a comment. It helps the channel so much. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.